I'm Sneha Chaliki,
And I'm Lasya Ayagari.
and for this project, we did research on robotics engineering.
So this is a short video and it's about a day at work for a robotics engineer, and we thought it would be interesting.
My name is Tessa Lau. I am Chief Robot Whisperer at Saviok. Saviok is a robotics company, and we're building autonomous robot helpers for the services industry. I went to Cornell for my undergrad. I got a bachelor's in applied physics and computer science. I really liked physics because it was about hands-on doing experiments and building things and making stuff real. Computer science was also really interesting because you could create stuff a lot faster on a computer. And so I went into computer science for my graduate studies. I went to University of Washington, where I studied artificial intelligence and human-computer interaction. I don't think of myself as a roboticist, even though that's what I do. The robot whispering for me is about making it so that the robots behave well in human environments. And it's not just about programming or engineering, it's about looking at those robots in context. The way he's being used is that the front desk receives a call from a guest room saying, I'd like to order a sandwich, or I forgot my toothbrush. And so they grab the item that they want to deliver, load it into the robot, type in the room number, and the robot will go off to the room automatically. Robotics has the potential to actually change people's lives in a much deeper, fundamental way than software could, because robots are physical. They can actually move around in your world and do things for you. The robots that we were building, they can't replace a human because there's so much that a human can do that a robot can't. What they can do is the mundane stuff that no one wants to do anyway, like, run stuff up to a hotel room and then come back down. No one person can build a robot on their own. And we all know that, and we all help each other out. I think one of the biggest skills that I bring to Saviok is soft leadership skills. I'm invested in making sure everyone's working together. I think it's really valuable to know a lot about a variety of things and then have a specialty within there where you focus and do a deep dive. I know computers, I know networking, I know physics, and that actually gives me knowledge about mechanical performance and just the basics of electrical engineering. I do a lot of integration testing, just making sure all of our software works properly on the physical hardware. We use GitHub a lot, which is an online collaboration tool for sharing source code and commenting on it. We're leveraging a lot of the contributions from the open source community. Those tools are freely available. Anyone can pick them up and learn how to use them. My advice to women going into STEM field is don't listen to anyone who says you can't do something. Definitely cultivate hobbies related to the field that you want to be in. I was lucky that my dad was into hobby computers. And so he brought one home. And so I would spend a lot of time just playing around with the computer and seeing what it could do. We have those robots out in hotels right now. We can log into them over the internet and watch them as they're doing deliveries to hotel guests. Seeing the people interact with them and be delighted, all of those interactions are happening because of things that I built. And that's really incredible.
Okay, so like we mentioned before, this video kind of showcases what a day at work is like for a robotics engineer. This video I think also clears up a lot of misconceptions and fears about the rise of robotics. You know how a lot of people are afraid that robots are gonna take all our jobs or something like that, but like the video mentions, they're designed to do repetitive tasks that no one would want to do anyway. They're all really mundane tasks that don't require human strength or labor.
So, what is robotics engineering? Robotics engineering is basically just a subfield of engineering that focuses on the design, construction, and programming of intelligent machines that are capable of performing different given tasks. These engineers often use aspects of machine learning and artificial intelligence in order to achieve this goal, and they design robots to make tasks safer and more efficient for humans. This field of engineering is growing exponentially at the moment, and by 2030, robots are likely to replace as many as 36 million low-skilled jobs through the automation of simpler processes. There are some common examples of robots that are used today, including biomechatronic prosthetics, drones, and the Roomba vacuum.
Okay, so this is an entry-level job opportunity here in Arizona, and it's a robotics technician at Amazon, and this is in Chandler. Their salary, they make about 42,000 to 75,000 per year, and again, this is in Arizona specifically. The education degrees required are a bachelor's degree, preferably in computer science or another related field, experience developing with RPA tools such as UiPath and or Automation Anywhere. You also need 2+ years of experience in IT software development and in developing web applications and client slash server applications. And lastly, you'll need 2+ years of Java or .NET development experience and the ability to work with both.
So this is one of the examples of an experience level job opportunity that we found, and it is of a senior robotic process automation developer at CVS Health right here in Scottsdale. The salary for this experience level job is from 72K to 150K per year, and that's based here in Arizona. For the education and degrees required, it requires about 8+ years of development experience, 3+ years of experience in RPA, a verifiable bachelor's degree, and a degree in computer science or a field that is related to computer science.
So the experience level job opportunity requires more experience, which is why it obviously pays better than the entry level job opportunity. And the experience level job opportunity was actually looking for an RPA developer, which is a robotics process automation developer. And this job is very important in most engineering companies, which means that it's also one of the positions that is in demand the most. And an RPA developer designs, develops, and implements software robots. And again, this is just in Arizona where you have potential to make 150K per year. If you plan on going out of state to say California or maybe New York, there's potential that you could make a lot more than 150K. Also, really big companies like Google and NASA and iRobot are looking for RPA developers.
So what other types of companies need robotics engineers? The companies listed below are some of the possible applications of these types of robots. So for manufacturing plants, they can use robotic arms and arc-wielding robots. For labs, they can use test tube sorters and mobile robots to transport lab specimens. For the medical field, they can use the Da Vinci robot for surgery and certain robotic nurses to make processes faster. For the mining field, they can use autonomous mobile robots and robots that are used for excavation. For military, they can use drones and UAVs, and also they can use robots for sniper detection to protect their troops. For the automotive industry, they can use collaborative robots that are used in assembly lines, as well as light robot arms. For the life sciences field, they can use liquid handling robots or robots that could help in mass spectrometry and cell culture. And then for aerospace and engineering, they can use non-destructive testing and inspection robots, task robots for jobs such as drilling, and many more. And also robots have certain applications in the gaming industry as well.
Okay, so now let's talk about the growth rates and advantages of robotics engineering. So firstly, we have a statistic from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, and this basically says that from the years 2018 to 2028, the percent employment growth will increase by 4% for robotics engineering, which is a lot. And you can see below that there's a chart of the job growth in the US for robotics engineering. But if you look to your left, it's a pie chart of all the robots and like how they're in demand for the entire world. And you can see out of the 7 continents, Asia is one of the leading robot developers and implementers. So um, if you're interested in robotics engineering, the U.S. obviously has a lot of opportunities But if you look at it from a global perspective, there's way more than you can imagine. So if you'd like to travel a lot, robotics engineering is probably a good pick for you.
So if you want to learn more, these are some websites that we found about robotics engineering. The first one is a website from ASU, and it provides opportunities for robotics engineering students, as well as demonstrates where and how robots are made on this college research campus. The second website provides up-to-date news on the present and future of robotics, as well as new innovations and inventions in the field, and it's constantly being updated, so it always has the newest information. The third is a journal. It is the International Journal of Robotics Research, which demonstrates cutting-edge research on robotics and houses many research papers on the subject if you want to learn more about this field.
And lastly, this is our works cited page.
Thank you for listening.